Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another Yukon Bob video, this time coming to you from the Sea-Doo and Lion's Head Marina, which I'm just pulling out of right now. This is a trip that's going to be an overnight trip up to Tobermory on the Bruce Peninsula. From where I am now, it's about 45 kilometers or so by water to get up to Tobermory. Winds are supposed to be pretty light today, so that's the plan. Head on up to Tobermory, spend the night up there, not camping as I wanted to do, which is what I did last year, but I couldn't get a camp spot. There's only about 6 camp spots on this thing called Flower Pot Island, which is an island off the coast of Tobermory, and they are all full. And they're full for the next day and even a week ahead or 10 days ahead. When I looked, they're all booked up. So I guess I'm gonna get a motel room is the plan in Tobermory and spend the night there. But it's a gorgeous ride up the coast of the Bruce Peninsula. I'll show you that as we get underway here a little bit. It's a nice calm morning in Lion's Head. Parking the car, leaving it here, I think it was 12 bucks to park it, which is great. One of the most reasonable places in Ontario. So let's take a trip up to Tobermory and see what the Bruce Peninsula looks like. For those of you who follow the videos, I did a video on this last year, so some of this may be a recapping of that, but some of it's also going to be new. So let's go and have a look at the route to Tobermory. Just pulling out of Lion's Head. The thing about this trip is that there's not a lot of places to get off the water between here and Tobermory. It's a lot of rock on the shoreline. It's beautiful. It looks like the Caribbean. The water is crystal clear, and there's some great green, aqua blue kind of colors in the water, but there are not a lot of places to get off the water if it were to get rough, because it's just all a rocky shoreline all the way. But that I'm hoping is not going to be a problem, because the winds are supposed to be fairly light for the next couple of days, and we should be okay in that regard. So let's go out and have a look. We're just leaving the harbor at Lion's Head. So this is just an example of the Niagara Escarpment. This runs from Niagara Falls, Canada-US border area, all the way up to Tobermory and the Bruce Peninsula. All the way along here is this Niagara Escarpment. A lot of limestone carved out by glaciers a long time ago. And that's sort of what it looks like up there. There's these cliffs all the way along. There's a big rock just under the water line. Water is so clean and clear around here. Now there's some pollen on top of the water right now, but it's really a nice clear kind of almost Caribbean color to the water. But you can see what I mean. There's not many places to kind of get ashore and get off the water. It's all rock all the way along. Those are great skipping stones. This beach runs way the heck down there, all full of these rocks. Here's an example of some of the limestone, just kind of in sheets of rock, ledges. It's kind of neat. So this is a big body of water. It's about 60-70 kilometers across out that way. And then it runs probably 350-60 kilometers, Georgian Bay long. You know what's really kind of weird out here is that the sky and the water and the clouds all just blend together. Look out there. That's looking out across Georgian Bay. Here's the water down here. And then you just kind of look out and everything just kind of blends together out there. You lose the horizon. But it's very still right now. The water's like glass, which doesn't mean that there's still some sort of little undulating ripples that take place in the water. The Sea-Doo kind of bounces along, even when the water is like glass. You just have that naturally, I think. But it's so quiet. You can hear the birds chirping. I just pulled into this little bay area. I'm in Dyer Bay, just to the south of Cabot Head. And there's the Bruce Peninsula up there, the cliffs. Just stop to listen for a little while. Whoa, look at that boulder. There's another one. Just these massive boulders right underneath the water. This is sometimes what I like to do out on the Sea-Doo, or just out in the bush. Sunflower seeds. I've been chewing sunflower seeds most of my life, but I've quit over the last 5-6 years. Just stopped using them. Kind of messy around the house, all that kind of stuff. But I have picked them up a little bit when I go back in the bush on the Sea-Doo or something like that, and I just like to have a bag with me and spit them in the water or on land, whatever. Don't worry, they're completely biodegradable. Time for a battery change. I carry 3 with me. And of course the one on the camera. These are just things that I bought online, and they're not brand name or anything like that. But you need a few because it does go through a few, so I change them fairly regularly. There's an old derelict that did not make it off of Georgian Bay. I don't know the name of it or the story behind it, but it's obviously been here a long time. But you can still make out the, it's a fair-sized boat. You can still make out the frame and the shape of it. And there you can make out the bow quite clearly. There's a beaver's den down below there. And there's the bow. Look at, there's a little tree growing right there. There's just not even a breeze. Water's like glass in Wingfield Bay. Okay, here's a much better view of the escarpment. This might be the highest it sort of is all along this route. It's pretty high up there now. Now, coming up around the shoreline here, I think there's some really neat kind of caves and stuff. We're gonna take a look at those. Look at all this stuff in the water though, this pollen. I don't remember all of that being out here when I was out last time, but that was later in the year, so maybe it's an early season thing that's gonna dissipate. It's kind of annoying. The water's so crystal clear otherwise, except for all this pollen on top. There's a lot of it. That's the Navionics app. Yeah. It's a pretty good climber.
Yeah.
Not bad. If it's what? Nah, I'm not sure. Hang on.
Is there any more caves that way?
Which way? Yep. Yep, there are. There are. This is Cave Point. Yep. I guess we know why they call it that, right? That's how to save fuel on a jet ski. Just tow the thing. That cruise ship can get right in there. It's pretty good. I can get closer. And there it is, the flower pot. There used to be 3, now there's 2. One fell down back a while ago. That's the big attraction. right, there's the Chichimon Ferry in Tobermory. It runs back and forth over to Manitoulin Island. I forget how long a trip it is. It's maybe 2-3 hours, is it? Can't quite remember now. It's a car ferry. Take your car over there. I've been across a couple times with the motorcycle. Loaded it onto that ferry and got across and ridden around Manitoulin Island for a little while. They're just unloading now, it looks like, so let's go up and have a look. Kind of a busy place in the summertime. There's a lot of tourists who come up here. There's some terrific freshwater diving here, some of the best in the world, because the water is so clear, and there's several wrecks off the side. So it's pretty popular in the summertime. That's why they charge such exorbitant prices for their hotel rooms here, motel rooms, because they can. And they got to make it in the summer because they don't have much going on in the winter. So there's a glass bottom boat. You can rent kayaks and all that kind of stuff here. Let's go into Tobermory, look around a little bit, make a decision whether we're staying or going back. Well, as you can see, the decision has been made. I've decided to stay the night. You know, it's 5 o'clock now. By the time I run back down to Lion's Head, it's going to take me at least 2 hours, and that is if it's not too choppy out there. So that'd be 7, then a 3-hour drive back to Toronto, or Thornhill, north of Toronto. That's too long. So I'm going to spend the night. It's supposed to be calm tomorrow, and we should all be good to go tomorrow. We can explore around a little bit and then take off. Tried to negotiate the price down a little bit, just because that's what I like to do once in a while. $200 is what the cost was for this, and it's kind of nice. Look, it's kind of fixed up a little bit. They've got this nice little bathroom thing here that's kind of cool. And I can sleep in tomorrow and then just take my time making my way back down to Lion's Head. The best part, though, is the view. I'm up on the 2nd floor, looking right out over the bay. Looks like it's going to be a nice day. It's pretty calm right now. I'm just getting the Sea-Doo ready to take off. Probably be out of here in about 15-20 minutes. Got everything unpacked and packed back into the Sea-Doo, loaded up. Fuel is full, so we're going to start making our way back down towards Lion's Head. Spent the night at the, I think it's called the Blue Bay Motel here in Tobermory. Way too expensive, but this is where they make their money, is in the summertime, so the rates are up. I think it was about $200 a night for the room, something like that. Anyway, it's just a motel room, but here they command top dollar in the summer months. So just up here in this little inlet, there's supposed to be a sunken wreck that I'm going to try and drive right over top of and get some pictures from the top down below, see if you can see it from up top. A lot of people come out here and snorkel over top and all of that stuff during the day. And when they're snorkeling, then you can't get in here because they sort of block the area off. But it's early in the morning, so it's clear now. I'm just going to see if I can get right over top of that wreck, which is just at the end of this little bay, and have a look, see if we can see it down through the water. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Can you see it? Right in the water. Right there. Oh, I'm turning the water up a little bit. Yeah, you can see it right down below. Wooden hull. Water is a lot clearer today than it was yesterday. There's not so much algae or pollen on top of the water today. Love the color of the water here. It's the big attraction. It's like in the Caribbean. cave in here. Goes in a little ways. It's kind of cool. How's the water? A little cold? Yeah.
We're working our way up to swimming around.
Are you? It's not that far.
No?
You can make it.
Yeah.
You got any fins? No.
No.
Lots to hang on to on the edge if you have to go around.
Yeah.
So that's the grotto right in there. Oh, the dog likes it. You're not going swimming? Looks a little chilly. It's just like the Caribbean. Except for the temperature, exactly. So that's the grotto area, and it's the big tourist attraction. This is where all the people assemble, so I guess it's open now. Check out this little bay in here. So beautiful. There's little ledges of rock right under the water. It's just like natural steps right into the water. Kind of a natural cave right in there, in that rock face. And I think the piece that came out of that cave is right there. I think that's the chunk of rock that fell out of that cave at one point. Just broke loose and fell down. Now you may ask, why is it not right in front? And I would not have a good answer to that. But it looks almost like the shape and stuff that it could have come out of that wall there, broke loose and just fell out, landed here. Okay, we got a little fish, not a very big one. I think it's a grayling. What is that? Look at all the other guys following him. No, that's a bass, I think. We're gonna let him go because he's just a little guy. Can't think of a better spot to stop for a little snack. Oh my God, there's a big fish. Can you see it? Oh my gosh, that's a big, what is that? Whitefish? Man, I should get the fishing rod out, see if I can catch him. Well, that's it. Thanks for coming along on another Yukon Bob adventure, this time to Tobermory on the Bruce Peninsula. 2-day trip, spent the night in Tobermory at a motel. I wanted to camp, but couldn't find a camping spot, so that was option 2. And then the second day, just made my way back over to Lion's Head. You could probably do this trip if you ran straight to Tobermory from here, 2.5 hours, something like that. Took me about 5 hours sort of each way because there's lots to see and do along the way. Look in the water and the rocks and all of that. Did some fishing. Didn't catch anything. Well, I caught one, but I released it. Little guy. Anyway, back in Lion's Head. Thanks for coming along on another Yukon Bob adventure. We'll see you next time out on the Sea-Doo.